Good morning, Pastor Ron Jetter, Immanuel Lutheran Church, Grandview, Washington. I tell you, I have lost track of the days. I couldn't remember if it was the 19th or the 20th. I just know that it's Wednesday, and it turns out it is the 19th, although the month is rushing by us. Were you ever a soap opera fan or knew someone who was? It used to be a daytime thing, and people who worked or went to school didn't follow them, really didn't have the opportunity. But somebody at the networks figured out, well, we should put on a nighttime soap opera. And so then we had Dallas, and a number of spin-offs came from that. It was a phase that died out, but the appeal is still there because you get to know the people, and what makes the story interesting is not that they're necessarily good people or bad people, but that they make terrible decisions that end up with disastrous results, sometimes even with the best of intentions. And we find a character we root for, and we find the character we really don't like. And the saga of Genesis is everything that a good soap opera should be. It's got people we like, people we don't, people we like but shouldn't, people we don't like but probably should, people who are kind of rough and probably a little more innocent, and people who are handsome and tall, good looking, and really kind of deceitful and corrupt and get ahead by lying and cheating. We have a mother who favors one child over the other, and a father who believes in the traditional blessing of the eldest. And so, as we heard last time, Rebekah has thwarted the plans of her husband Isaac as he's on his deathbed, his plans to bless his son Esau, the older of the two twins, by a matter of minutes. She has favored Jacob, the younger, from the beginning. A mother's heart, yes sirree. Well, and Rebekah helped Jacob to lie, to deceive, to steal what rightfully belonged to his brother Esau. And Isaac gave his blessing to the one he didn't intend to. So we're now up to verse 41 of chapter 27 of the book of Genesis. Now Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with which his father had blessed him. And Esau said to himself, "The days of mourning for my father are approaching. Then I will kill my brother Jacob." Kind of like Paul Harvey. And now the rest of the story. Page 2. But the words of her elder son Esau were told to Rebekah. So she sent and called her younger son Jacob and said to him, "Your brother Esau is consoling himself by planning to kill you. Now therefore, my son, flee at once to my brother Laban in Haran. Stay with him a while until your brother's fury turns away, until his anger turns away and he forgets what you have done to him." Forgets? It's going to affect Esau the rest of his life. How is he ever going to forget what Jacob did, what his mother did? Does he even know that his mother helped? Maybe not. Maybe she's smiling to Esau's face the whole time saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry your father did that. That brother of yours, Jacob, he's just, oh, well, I think your father should just send him away. He doesn't belong here anymore." Verse 46, Rebekah then goes into Isaac, who hasn't yet died, by the way. "I am weary because of my life, because of the Hittite women. If Jacob marries one of these women of the land, what good will my life be to me?" What? What is this? This is some made-up kind of story. I don't want our son marrying a Hittite woman. I need him to go somewhere else. You're his father. You're still alive. You can command him. Remember how your father commanded you to go to my family and marry me, your cousin? Well, perhaps you should tell Jacob to go to my brother Laban, back in the land of Haran, where Abraham came from, and just live there a while. Maybe he'll find someone, a nice girl, and settle down. And then we have to change chapters. But here she is still plotting, still deceiving. She uses this excuse of saying, I don't want our son to marry one of the local girls, one of the people of the land. I want him to marry within the family. Yeah, that's a strange practice. We know that. Well, Isaac fell for it. Rebekah obviously has Isaac wrapped around her little finger. So now we're in chapter 28. And this is page 2, as Paul Harvey would say. Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him, You shall not marry one of the Canaanite women. Go at once to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take as your wife from there one of the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. Go marry one of your first cousins. After all, I married my first cousin once removed. Let's keep it in the family. Let's really mess up our DNA. But then again, they didn't understand genetics back then, right? Wrong. Stay tuned. May God Almighty bless you and make you fruitful and numerous, that you may become a company of peoples. May He give you the blessing of Abraham to you and your offspring, so that you may take possession of the land wherever you now live as an alien, the land God gave to Abraham. Thus Isaac sent Jacob away, and he went to Padan Aram to Laban son of Bethuel the Aramean, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob and Esau's mother. Okay, so that's that story, nicely wrapped up. Wow, so Jacob's going to go off and find a nice gal, and Esau, well, we have the story then of Esau marrying the daughter of Ishmael. Remember Ishmael, Abraham's firstborn? Even though some passages said Abraham had only one child, his only child, Isaac. We find out he had later children after that, but he had Ishmael 13 years before Isaac. So now here's Isaac's brother Esau going to marry a cousin, or at least a step cousin, a half cousin, because after all, Isaac and Ishmael were half brothers. Verse 6, Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Padan Aram to take a wife from there, and that he blessed him and charged him, You shall not marry one of the Canaanite women, and that Jacob had obeyed his father and mother and gone to Padan Aram. When Esau saw that the Canaanite women did not please his father Isaac, Esau went to Ishmael and took Mahalath, daughter of Abraham's son Ishmael, sister of Nebaioth, and said to be his wife in addition to the wives he had. Okay, so this is the first we hear. Esau's already got wives, but he found out that his dad did not want his son marrying a Canaanite. So what does he do? He goes and marries one of the people his dad doesn't want him to marry. Okay, Dad, you robbed me of my blessing just to spite you. Before you die, I want you to know I married someone that you don't think is good enough. Yeah, that brings up a whole different subject, and it's not really the point of the story, but it does develop the character of Esau. You get the feeling we're going to see Esau again? It says he has other wives. So now Esau, where did he get all of his property? Well, he has been Isaac's son, the son of a very, very wealthy man, the grandson of a very, very wealthy king in his own right, Abraham. So Esau has probably already done pretty well, already has his own flocks, he's already well established. He doesn't need to inherit the lion's share of what Isaac has. He's already doing fine. He is capable of raising his own clan, of being his own people. Remember when he was in the womb, his mother says, 2 nations are at war within me. That tips us off the reader. It's like saying, stay tuned. There's going to be war between these two when they grow up. So Jacob steals the blessing. Esau is nonetheless doing just fine. What's he going to do? Raise an army? And is Jacob going to look up someday and see Esau and an army coming for him? Well, fortunately, he ran off to Haran in Padan Aram, where Abraham originally came from. in the land of Ur of the Chaldeans. You got all these different names, and we're not even sure where these places are, but they just roll right off the tongue in the story, as though they're somewhere near Thousand Oaks, just on the west side of Los Angeles, just outside of our Hollywood studio. That's the soap opera for today. Tomorrow, Jacob is going to have a dream.